International break is finally over, and no more international break for this season. So we're happy because we don't really like international breaks. This video is about my Premier League Matchweek 30 preview predictions. But before anything, if you want to help the channel, please subscribe, share, comment down below, like, and all the good stuff. It's going to take you only 1 second to do it, and it will be much appreciated. Let's go. Let me remind you the table so far. And remember, some teams played 29 games, other teams 28 games, and Chelsea only played 27 games. The only team with 27 games is Chelsea because of other competitions they were involved in, like the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and stuff like that. So this table here is not going to be fair. But the top of the table is fair because they almost played the same amount of games. Arsenal are top of the table, 64 points, but the goal difference is crazy, plus 46. Liverpool are second, same amount of points, 64, but the goal difference is 39. Manchester City are third, 63 points, and as you can tell, is only 1 point difference between them. Okay. Aston Villa are fourth, Tottenham Hotspurs are fifth, Manchester United are sixth. You scroll down, you will see Chelsea 11th FC. Bottom of the table, Nottingham Forest, Burnley, and Sheffield United. All right, my people. So we have so many games this weekend, so let's move on very quickly. Saturday, March the 30th, 2024, 8:30 Eastern Time. Newcastle United to play against West Ham. Newcastle lost the last game in the Premier League against Chelsea 3-2. West Ham drew against Aston Villa 1-1. I think Newcastle United are going to be strong at home and beat West Ham United 2-1. Let's move on. Bournemouth against Everton. Everton need to win. Bournemouth need to win. The last game in the Premier League, Bournemouth won against Luton Town 4-3. Everton lost against Manchester United 2-0. I think Bournemouth are going to win this game 2-0. Next up, Chelsea against Burnley at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea beat Newcastle United the last game in the Premier League 3-2. Burnley beat Brentford 2-1. Datro Fofana is not going to play this game because he can't play against his parent club, Chelsea. I'm going to make an entire video about this game, so I'm not going to take all your time here. I think Chelsea to win 3-1. Next up, Nottingham Forest against Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest need to be very careful because they are at the risk of relegation. They got 4 points deducted. And then they're going to play against Crystal Palace, who also need points. I think I'm going to go with my heart because I want Callum Hudson-Odoi to score. So I am going Nottingham Forest 2, Crystal Palace 1. Next up, we have Sheffield United against Fulham. Sheffield United drew the last game against Bournemouth 2-2. Fulham destroyed Tottenham Hotspurs 3-0. So it's going to be a very tough game. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. Next up, we have Tottenham Hotspurs against Luton Town. Tottenham lost the last game in the London Derby against Fulham 3-0. Luton Town, it was 1-1 against Nottingham Forest the last time in the Premier League. I think Tottenham Hotspurs are going to score 3 and Luton 2. Moving on, Aston Villa against Wolves. What a game. Villa drew the last game against West Ham United, and they have to push because they don't want to miss out on the Champions League spot. Wolves beat Fulham the last time in the Premier League 2-1. What a game this is going to be. Good evening, good evening. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Moving on, Brentford against Manchester United. Brentford need to start winning games. They have a very, poor form really. In the last 5, you can see they lost. They only drew 1 against Chelsea 2-2. So they have to start winning. Manchester United also need to keep pushing. Mason Mount is back, but they still have some players injured. This one, I see it a draw, 2-2. And then we're going to move to the games on Sunday, March the 31st, 2024. 2 games. The first one is going to be Liverpool against Brighton. 2 strong teams, to be honest with you. Liverpool, playing at home. They know if they lose this game, the gap is going to start creating between them and Arsenal and Manchester City. Brighton, no matter how good they are, Anfield Stadium, very, very difficult. I see Liverpool 3, Brighton 2. And the last game on Sunday, Manchester City against Arsenal. This is the title game. Go big or go home. They know, both teams know that they have to win. Manchester City been struggling with injuries, and even during this international break, they lost Kyle Walker and John Stones. We don't know how big or how bad those injuries are, but by the time of recording, I'm going to consider them as out. You know what I mean? So you don't have John Stones and you don't have Kyle Walker. That is tough. And we know that Manchester City been conceding a lot of stupid goals. And with Arsenal all gun blazing, it's going to be very, very tough. But Pep Guardiola is a tactician. He's a genius. He will always find a way to cope with the situation. They got the longest unbeaten streak at their stadium, Etihad Stadium. So it's going to be a very tough one. So the last game in the Premier League, Liverpool won, Manchester City won, Arsenal beat Brentford 2-1. It was a very, very difficult game for them, but that's what you need sometimes. A very tough game, you get 3 points and you move. I think this game is going to be 2-2. And remember that I made a video, an entire video about this game and gave you more details, head-to-head, form guide, and all that. So the link in the description down below, so you can see the details.